All right, so now let's get started by planning out the project structure, how we're going to build our project, the stack we're going to use. That's actually the first thing you need to do when you are building a project. Okay. So the name of our app is called P-Invent, and this is the tech we're going to use for it. So for the front end, we're using React and SCSS. For the back end, we're using Node.js and Express, and that's the main stack. Our database is going to be MongoDB. I did not add that here, but I should. Then our state management, we're going to use Redux Toolkit. Now, when we build our application, we're going to need somewhere to store our images. And it depends on the kind of server you have really, but Render may not allow you to store images on their server because it's number one, it's a free account, and number two, you're going to just use up all your server resources before you know. So we're going to be storing our images to the cloud, Cloudinary to be specific. So while we're here, what I want you to do, or what I recommend you do, is go to cloudinary.com. So cloudinary.com, and then just create an account. I already have an account on Cloudinary, so I'm not going to be creating a new one. But make sure you just go to cloudinary.com, pause the video, and create an account and have that ready. Then we're going to be using, to send emails, we're going to be using NodeMailer and Outlook. Now that NodeMailer and Outlook, it actually works fine in production, but what I recommend you get a standard hosting for production. So for this purpose of just learning, NodeMailer and Outlook is fine. But if you're going to, push your app out there for production for other people to use, I recommend you go with SendGrid. Okay, so sendgrid.com. Maybe I should just open that so that we see. So SendGrid. Oh, okay. So this is sendgrid.com, and if you look at their pricing, you will discover that they have a very generous free tier. I think you can send up to 300 meals per day for free with SendGrid. So that's why I recommend that you use them in production. So as your app grows and as you start getting paying users, up to 100 emails per day forever. Okay, so not 300, 100 emails per day. And then as your app starts to grow, you can then upgrade to their paid plan. So that's what I recommend. Then for the free email, service, we are going to be using Outlook. Outlook is just a regular email like Gmail or whatever mail you use. So what I recommend you do right now is just go to outlook.life.com and open an email so that you have everything that we need ready before we start building. All right, let's go back to our presentation. Then for our front end deploy, we're going to be using Vercel. So also make sure you just go to vercel.com, and if you don't have an account with them, just create an account. I want everything we need to be ready before we get started. So go to vercel.com and then create an account. I already have an account with Vercel, as you may have guessed, and as you can see, I have some applications deployed already with Vercel. Then lastly, for our backend, we're going to be deploying our backend to Render. So for that, we already deployed to Render in the previous project, so I expect that you have a Render account already. So for now, these are the things that I would like us to have prepared as we get started building the project. All right, if there's any other thing that we need to talk about while we start building, we're going to come back here and just itemize or document them. All right, so that's about it for this one. Thank you so much, and let's get started.